This is Rockin' with Jam Man is with Kelly Deco. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I really appreciate
Oh man, it's my pleasure. No problem, man. How's life treating you?
it. Oh man, rock and roll goes on, doesn't it? We're having a great time out here with our new Kelly Deco record called Constellation, and we have this new thing we're working on called Victorian Futurism, and it's kind of like it's kind of like space rock, love, galactic fantasy, kind of songs from from the '70s, but more of a futuristic spin. And yeah, based on like maybe early Bowie, Meatloaf, Anthony Newley, Frank Sinatra, was love, and kind of like a cowboy shirt that goes out into beyond the universe. So it's really cool stuff. We had a great producer, Val Garay, five-time Grammy Award-winning and 130 platinum record producer. Did a great job putting this thing together, and so now we're running with it. It's out there now digitally everywhere you can get your music, and yeah, I'm really proud of it. It sounds great. The whole idea, the mythology of constellation, where the figures in the stars, but this time it's more like the planets are moving through the figures and the events of your life, and kind of because of that, there's no two stories or two stars that are the same. And like in the ancient days of the sky tellers, it's kind of a futuristic sky teller story, and but it's vintage at the same time. So yeah, like the old Latin celestial spears, they were covering the planets, and there were kind of collections of old and new shifting figures. And this record is a constellation of songs of love and life and travel, um, intergalactic travel, dreams, and love, a lot of love in this one. It's a very personal record for me. It was kind of hard for me to get it done because it was so personal. It kept breaking down. I was surprised that music could make me feel, that way. The words, of course, I write all the music first, and then I wait for the inspiration of the song to come to me, and then you have it then, whatever it might be. And this time I was focusing in on, you know, outside of the realm of our basic visual and understanding into other realms and other universes. So yeah, it was kind of neat that it did come out and come together, and it sounds great. You know, um, uh, I love the early work of Jimmy Webb, Laura Nyro, and of course Bacharach. A lot of these songs are very kind of Bacharach, where they've got a couple of really strong, just two note melodies that run through them and kind of get you going on the thing, and then we take you on a little trip through the whole thing. And yeah, so it's very '70s, very. It's a '70s record, which means clear but punchy in your face, a lot of clear vocals, and we got some great backup singers that we got to make it really have that really live early, the Joe Cocker and all the early bands that had a lot of great backup singers.
What was the writing process like for you?
Here, kept it going. So yeah, there is a little bit of background on it, and like I said, it's available everywhere. So just wanted to let you know that's what the starting point is. Not
I
going to answer. Yeah,
what?
go ahead.
I'm sorry. What were you about to say?
No, it's
No, you go.
we've had a great time making it. We're having a great time promoting it, and it's really great that people like you are here to listen for us to talk to and kind of get it moving into the right direction.
I have to say, you guys really have like a 70 bands going. It's very retro and cool.
Yeah, that's what we wanted. It's interesting. We wanted that, and I thought, well, how can we do that? And then I was working with the producer, and he said, the guy who invented that is Val Garay, and so he happened to be working with him, and that was it. He was available, and we did it, and it came out great. It was really surprising how great it came out. I was very surprised. So there you go. very 70s and very happy and very interesting stories. And yeah, a good show. It's kind of like a rock show, really, what it is. So we're getting ready to get that going too. Yeah.
So, do you have a video planned?
Yeah, we're getting the record out first. The CD comes out in March, and then in the summer the LP comes out. So that's kind of how we're doing that. And then we'll be getting the video in at the same time.
You have been rocking out since the 80s. Are you just learning how to do social media now?
Yeah. Am I doing okay?
Yeah, you're doing fine, man. You're doing great.
Yeah, it's a lot to catch up on. And there's a lot a lot going on in the world and a lot to be aware of. We've got a great company we work with, Chipster PR, that have really done a great job. They've been around for a long, long time, and they've done a great job. And also, Danny at Total Assault has done a great job. So we got good people behind this project. It's been kind of a blessing all along that we had a strong team in the beginning, and now we still have a strong team all the way through, including social media and record label. So yeah, it's pretty good. I'm very happy about it. Very happy.
Do you have a different page before or something?
Do I have a different what? I'm sorry.
Page like your website at all or something?
Yeah, well, kellydeco.com is where you can get everything. Just go.
Uh,
Yeah, that's that story. Check it out. You'll love it. Check us out. We're on all the other formats too at the same time, so it's all doing great.
what
Yeah,
was it like the first time to hear yourself on the radio?
yeah, it's surprising. You're just it's kind of a moment of joy that you're able to send your art, your heart and soul out, and people respond, and that it's being passed around, and people are liking and saying good things about it. That's a big thing. It's yeah, you feel it. You feel it like a great big happy birthday or something, where a moment of really extreme happiness and joy for that, just to hear it. Yeah.
So
Uh,
you are a movie set and prop painter. So what did you do to make that stuff look old?
yeah, well, that's a whole nother story right there. Yeah, I do a lot of that stuff. I've been doing that for since there as long as well. I've been doing making music and writing music since I was a kid, and I've been working the movie stuff since the early '80s. So yeah, it's been a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot of techniques, and you can read books about it now, but initially it's a trial and error, and then working with people who teach you, like anything, any industry. The more you work with great people, the more it rubs off. The more you become the artist eventually yourself. So, yeah, that's kind of how that works. Yeah.
What
How about
was
you?
what
Yeah. What do you like? What movies do you like? You like movies and music, and what do you think
Yeah,
about them?
I love horror movies.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
found footage movies.
Hmm.
Do you know
Cool.
what found footage are?
Yeah, I do, as a matter of fact. And as far as horror movies, years and years and years ago, I worked on Pet Cemetery, the original Pet Cemetery. So I've been around. I've worked with a lot of different directors and genres. So yeah, pretty cool.
So what was the coolest movie you worked on?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. It could be one of the ones I worked with years and years ago with Ken Russell. I worked on Runaway Train with John Voight, and Under Konchalovsky directed that. I've worked a lot of movies. I worked with Spielberg and Bob Altman. Yeah, what's the best one? It's a hard to pin it out, but if you grab a handful, not always the ones that have the biggest, fanciest stuff are the best ones. Sometimes it's a great story, and then they just get it right, and you're happy about that. Yeah. So with that, I would say Yeah, I don't know. It depends on the genre, the heavy, interesting genre, or the light and fluffy, happy genre, cookie stuff, or just regular. Yeah,
So you did some horror movies like Candyman. Did you paint all the
so that's
clo-
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
did you paint
yeah. I
all
was lead scenic on Candyman. As a matter of fact, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was one of the interesting ones because the story was really interesting, and the whole thing. If you say the name a few times, it comes and gets you and all that. And the bees and the story. Yeah, you know what? That was now that you mentioned it, that was really an interesting one to work on. And then they remade it a couple of times. Surprising, but yeah, that was neat. I think if you watch the making of it, the designer talks about hiring me to do all this and that, and we really made it work out because we worked at it. Good times. It was good. You might know more than I can remember. Yeah. So meanwhile, work records going forward, and it'll be out in March. The CD comes out in the summer. The LP will come out. We got some great people, including a great artist, Johannes, who did the album artwork for the record. He's done years and years ago. He did Led Zeppelin, and of course he did Journey, Boston. He does Allman Brothers. Johannes is one of the most celebrated, interesting artists for record covers, and so we're lucky to get him to do this. So he's a big part of our team and to keep the vibe going and all that. But yeah, good people in this project, really good people from really early 70s, and also very, very true, real artists all through it. So I think that when people listen to the record, they'll notice that it's a legitimate experience like it used to be back in the day where people used to get an LP and stick it on and listen to the whole thing and really get an experience out of it.
You know IMDb has you listed as a girl, right?
I like that. Yeah, I figured why change it. And the last 5 films I've worked on aren't even on there yet. It doesn't always get updated. So yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, interesting. But yeah, I've got a lot of films. If you look at that alone, Internet Movie Database, and now you can just look me up just by typing my name into Google. And Kelly Deco will come up and it'll tell you all about the music and what's going on and who I'm working with. And it's again all available on all the music, uh, digital outlets, and then the actual CD and the album will be out. Uh, CD in March and album in the summer. Looking forward to it. And then of course we'll do live shows as well. So yeah, it's a good. I think people like it. A lot of people like it, and I think take a listen. You'd be surprised. It's real music.
So do you have a big tour plan this year?
No, we don't have one yet, but we're getting ready to. We're still sizing it up about where to go first. So that's kind of what we're doing now. We're sizing up what's going to come up and where to go, and yeah, and where to plant our feet first. But we definitely are planning to do one, and it's going to be a fun time for everybody. Good times.
What is it like? Have you toured after the pandemic at all?
Everything is different everywhere. On the movie sets, we're tested every other day, and everywhere we go, everyone has to wear a mask, and everywhere it's a lot different. This pandemic has changed things everywhere you go for everybody, so I'm sure it'll be the same in rock and roll out on the stages and stuff.
So I've been to a few shows and fans seem more into the shows after not being able to rock out for years.
Yeah, I can understand that. That's because they just want to shake it all out. Yeah, why would that's great. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that'll be what I'm doing. So yeah, that'd be great.
What is life
Good
like
time.
on the road for you?
Well, it all depends on who you hook up with and who your team is, and because you're going to be with them a lot. It's always good to have good friends, and it's always good that you all get along and all understand that it's all about making the show and making the show work. So with that, yeah, keep your feet on the ground. Remember what you're there for. Get out there and make it happen. Then the fans will let you know if you're doing good. So yeah, the answer is it's great. It's great. Music is my life. It's what I live for. It's my air. So good to have air to breathe. Yeah.
So, what's the best venue you've ever played?
For me, it was mostly on the Sunset Strip. That was really a great energy era when I played the clubs there. It was really the time and the energy was great, really powerful and interesting. And so maybe that'll come back sometime. Maybe it won't, but, but either way, yeah. If you get to a place where any town that has a great scene going on, I mean that's just what makes it for any artist, just to get out in front of people who care and are there to see something, a new thing they can get into.
Do you have a ritual before you go on stage?
Do I have a ritual? That's funny. I listen to music from movie themes, um, especially Italian spaghetti westerns. Sergio Leone. But yeah, that would be the ritual. Just to, I don't know why, it just kind of gets things going the right way. Kooky as it sounds.
Ever have a crazy interaction with a fan?
Crazy?
Yeah.
You know, one time I was mistaken for somebody that I wasn't, and because there was another rock show going on, and I was trying to tell them that I'm not that person, I'm this other person, and they didn't want to hear it, and then they got mad and said, "We're not going to come to your show again." And I'm like, "Well, you're not, but I'm not that person, so you're not going." to. So it's interesting. People get really wound up into whatever they're doing at the moment. Is everything for them. So I would say that's it. That one time, and I was trying to tell them, it's not, and they weren't going to believe. They thought I was trying to trick them. Other than that, no, it's always great. People are just fun. People who like music are fun people. And, we put on a show, so it's a show scene, and those are cool people. I mean, all music and all people are. I like all sorts of music. I'll listen to anything, and you know, I don't cut any one thing or another out of what I listen
What do you do on your downtime for fun?
to. I hmm, okay. Well, I'm a member of a yacht club, so sometimes I go stay there. So there you go. Get out
What's
there on the.
next for you?
I'm sorry.
Well, what's next for you?
What's next for me is um, getting the record visually in my hands, getting the hard copies, and then promoting that. So that'll be coming up right away. So this is like what we're doing now is based on digital releases, and so the next release is the CD in March, and then by the summer it'll be the album and the vinyl.
And they can get your music there, right?
Get your music anywhere right now. Yep, everywhere. All these outlets right now that have music uh, have the Kelly Deco Constellation record. It's available.
Any cool merch? Do you guys have any cool merch?
Yeah, we got cool T-shirts and stuff. We got the design by Johannes. So yeah, we got. He's did a great job putting together good imagery and stuff, and you'll be seeing that come up real soon now too.
You gotta hook your boy up with some fresh gear.
Yeah, no, we'll do it. We'll get it. We'll get it all hooked up. It's all as soon as it gets down the pipeline, it'll all start going out to everybody.
What's
Plus,
your favorite memory from playing a show?
well, that's a good question. Favorite memory is just when you. One time I was doing a show and then I was on TV at the same time, so I had a video that was out. So that was interesting to see that you're in two different places at the same time because you can.
What is your worst memory from playing a show?
Well, it's not really a you don't have bad memories. You do it because you want to do it, but what you sometimes you go somewhere and play, and then it's not exactly what you expected, but you play anyways and just have a good time. You know, so worst memories would be if something broke down or something, if you're stuck somewhere. That, those kind of things. Let's face it, it's a mechanical world. Things go wrong, and you got to be able to bounce back when anything things do go wrong. But typically, no bad memories for anything musical. But it's a journey. It's all a journey. You're just going down that road.
Fun question time. You're on death row and it's time for your final meal. What's on the menu?
That's a good one. What would it be? Let me see. Well, I'm a big fan of caviar, so probably caviar and I don't know, maybe something that goes with it. What would go with caviar? Some kind of probably ahi tuna. That'd be it. Sure.
How are you going out?
Oh, I don't know. Nobody knows the answer to that.
If you could have a superpower, what would you choose?
Your superpower is your ability. For me, is your ability to connect with people. That might be if I have any powers at all. That connecting people with interesting things.
Let's say you could have any song ever written by any band and you can change that song or you were the one who wrote it. And what song would it be and why?
Oh man, what song would it be and why? Well, there's a long time ago. There's an artist named Anthony Newley who ended up writing songs. He wrote the song for the Candyman. He wrote the song Candyman, and so he, his early stuff was very dramatic and very kind of kooky sounding. And in the end, that's where David Bowie picked up his little thing, his gig. Uh, so stop the world and get off. Yeah, would be that's one of his ones. Would be stop the world and start it again or something. Something more, turn it around another way.
Well, thank you for being on my show. Up the
I
next time
really
we
appreciate
talk
it.
at the backstage and one shows, man. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, and you have a good night.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate being here. Have
Yeah,
a great day. Okay,
have a great
bye
day.
bye.
Bye bye.